everybody. Ho, ho, ho. We are here to wish you a very Merry Christmas in July. And we are here to talk about the upcoming Christmas in July season, both the new films and the favorites that we recommend that you check out. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm film critic Rachel Wagner. Terry's here.
Hi.
And Mary's here.
Hello. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Hope you're all doing well. Are you looking forward to Christmas in July? What do you think, Mary?
Oh, yes. I'm ready for this because I am ready to go back to like some of my favorite Hallmark movies and feel the love again for the channel when they've had we've talked about this, a couple of misses so far. And so I'm ready to bring back that kind of joy. And then on my other podcast, the Sleigh Bells and Mistletoe Christmas podcast, which the episode with you, Rachel, is coming this coming weekend.
Oh, good.
On that finally. And so we're talking about Christmas in July over there. And so I'm just all in the mood, totally in the mood.
It's going to be really, really fun. And also we should say that for all of you who are in the Salt Lake area, this September, FanX, Mary and I are doing our first, it's the first panel I've ever had accepted for FanX. And we have some special guests, and it's called The Power of Christmas Movies. And we're going to be talking about all things Christmas. So you want to get your tickets for FanX. It's going to be super fun. Yeah. So something to look forward to. But Terry, what about you? Are you looking forward to Christmas in July?
Sure. Yeah, because this is about the time when I need it, because we have those 3 months of Christmas basically at the end of the year. Yeah. All those Christmas movies to get to. I need months a break. So I'm starting to get into the gear. This is the perfect time to get back into that, and not feel overwhelmed. And I get to catch up on everything I missed the previous holiday season.
Yeah. And like Mary was saying, I really need Hallmark to bring it for Christmas because they have not been doing it for me this year. I can honestly say that Up TV, I think, has had a much stronger 2023 than Hallmark, which I never thought I would say. But with movies like Mixed Baggage, that was outstanding, and Just Jake, and just some really solid films over there at Up TV. There just haven't been that many that I've loved, and there's been a lot that I have not liked for Hallmark this year.
Yeah, not your favorite.
Yes,
it hasn't been the strongest. I agree.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad I have people like Mary who can come on the podcast and be super nice.
I'm like, somebody worked on this.
Like, I'm like, what's happening? I'm turning into Grumpy Dan. This is bad.
They made choices.
Like, I agree, it hasn't been the strongest year, but it's only very few that are outright terrible. But a lot are like, you can watch them. I don't know how much rewatchability they have, but in the moment, they're okay,
It is true. There have been a bunch that, like, when I first finished watching, I was like, oh, that was all right. And then the more I think about it, I'm like, oh, that was a missed opportunity. I wish they'd done that, or I wish they'd done this or whatever. But anyway, it's been an uneven year.
Yeah,
I think that's fair to say for Hallmark. So we hope that they are just saving all of their goodies for Christmas, and we're going to get some awesome Christmas movies. But we have 2 new movies for Christmas in July that we're going to talk about, and we're going to give our preview like we usually do for Christmas movies. And then we're each going to give several of the classics that will be airing and give our recommendations for you to catch those. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And so why don't we start talking about A Royal Christmas Crush? And this stars Katie Cassidy, Stephen Huszar, director Maria Grabiak, who's done tons of these, writers Keith Hemstreet, Catherine Ray, and Kate Somerville. And it's Ava accepts the opportunity of a lifetime to work at the Royal Ice Hotel, which leads her to a surprise whirlwind romance with the most important guest of all, the Royal Prince himself. And it's kind of fun because Katie Cassidy and Stephen Huszar I don't know if they met in this.
They did.
Okay, they did. They are a couple though in real life, so that's fun.
Yeah. I love that when you peer behind on like their social media and stuff.
Yeah.
Who they're dating. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. But Terry, overall, what do you think of this premise, this idea of the ice hotel, the Royal Ice Hotel?
Well, it is unique, and it's different. And I think because they didn't go anywhere international, that having it at the ice hotel is a better way to incorporate this fake country. Like, you don't really have to go anywhere else. You don't have to make up, like, we know where it is, but like,
yeah,
it's
they
easy
have
to fool us.
It's not like some Genovia clone. Yeah, they have a whole royal ice hotel, I guess.
Wow,
this
I mean,
country.
That's an effort that they put in. I mean, maybe it helps with tourism. I don't know.
But I wonder if other people can stay at the ice hotel or if it's just for the royals.
I'm good. Who knows? But I bet you it's just a working hotel that they really. It's tradition. Who knows?
Yeah. So this is the third ice hotel movie that they've made for Hallmark.
Yeah,
Right.
I keep thinking about Winter Castle, right? The one with Kevin McCary.
Yeah. The one where he is like so mean to that poor other woman. Like,
oh my gosh, I know.
Like justice for whatever. I forget her name.
I love that movie though.
She deserved so much better.
I know, but I can't help but love that movie because it's out there, but he is mean to her.
Yeah, but that one was pretty good. And then there's the one with Jocelyn. And that one was just really random because it came out in like April, but it was an ice hotel movie. I was like, what?
Was that
it wasn't in a movie block or anything like that.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/Hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
Maybe It's Cold Inside.
Something like that.
That's the name. That's what I'm
But
I don't remember it being that name. But yeah, Steve Lund was in that one, and he had like a boots the whole time because his toes were probably frozen. So they make it look like. So that's the thing about this one. I'm like, they make it look like ooh, sparkly and pretty, but the whole time I'm thinking cold.
I mean, I know there's an appeal for it. People have been doing it for years, but I would not stay in an ice castle. No way. It looks beautiful, but I would not do it.
Well, I am like a hot sleeper, and so I think I would do better than most. But yeah, that probably wouldn't be my top choice.
Maybe I'll go for a day visit.
Yeah,
day visit. Check it out. Then go home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it could be fun. I like the scene in the one in the Winter Castle when they're making the maple candy.
Yes.
Fun. I like that.
Oh,
didn't they have a random glass blowing scene in that movie?
Yeah,
I think.
They like hike out to like a farm to do that.
Yeah.
Of course they did.
Well, I just always laugh with that because our friend Dory, she gets so annoyed. She's like, glass blowing is not sexy.
It is on TV though. It is on TV. It's super sexy in the movie.
I don't know.
It's hard work.
Yeah. I mean, I would think so. You have to blow pretty hard to get it to
I also love every time you see it, it's like the most clean, most like pretty place to blow glass. And that's not how you do it.
Yeah. I think that the sexy glass blowing, that probably comes from a Sweet Home Alabama, you know.
Oh, yes.
I got that.
You gotta be
love
rugged.
that movie.
Yeah.
I
And
love that.
We have to make some of these jobs that don't look appealing, that are really hard work, and just make it look sexy.
In that movie, there's this one scene where when she first sees that he's the one running the shop, and the camera pulls up on him and goes all the way up and down his body, and then just like holds there for a light, and he's just like smiling, and it just like holds there.
Yeah.
Like, thank
like
you.
Weird her eyes.
Yeah.
Just doing the scan. Yeah.
Just like this filmmaker understands women. And like they get it. They understand.
Exactly.
So I think we've been pretty nice, but we've seen the previews, and Terry, do you want to say your concerns about the film? About a Royal Christmas Crush?
I am looking forward to it because I love royal movies, but I'm under no delusion that, it will turn out good. I just want to be entertained. But like that accent or lack of accent, or I don't know what's going on there, but like if you can't do it, don't do it. This is a made up country. You do not have to work this hard for something that's not real. So just have them do no accent. They've done it before in other royal movies, and it's worked because it's not real. For a time, all these fake countries were always bordering the south of France. So I don't know where this one's going to border, but just don't do it, because
a lot of times they're in like Estonia area, like
I love it too. Like we're all snowy, but we're because there was a time period where we're all by the south of France. I don't know why they thought that was a good place, but it's always snowy over there, and it's always all that. But that accent.
But I do think it'd be better if they just did no accent.
Just
or hire a different actor.
Line. Yeah. Or yes, just maybe a quick line. Oh, I went to college in America, or I don't know, or I don't know. It doesn't.
That's what they did with the what's it called, a Winter Princess or whatever, the one with Natalie Hall.
Where her accent changed.
Yeah, she was just like, I went to school and or wherever.
Pick a lane and just commit.
Make it just like, hey man, we border Canada or something like that. We don't have an accent, or we have close to a Canadian accent, like North American accent. How about that?
I agree.
It would be fine.
I think that's the biggest concern, and it is a pretty big concern because it could definitely impact the chemistry and just make the performance not feel.
If it's distracting.
Yeah, it could be distracting. That's the word.
Yeah.
So
because that preview clip, that's all I concentrated on. I was like, I gotta hear this. But like, he is putting in an effort. So okay, like kudos to you. And I hope that how do I put this nicely? I mean, both of those actors are not the strongest thespians of their craft. So I hope that their real life chemistry, because they obviously got together, that it shows on the screen. Because sometimes your real life chemistry does not show on screen. And I hope that transmits, and that we could just, fall in love or enjoy their romance.
Yeah, I think so. And I hope that because a big element, I think, in making these movies work is if you have like a really good dress reveal, whenever there's the Cinderella moment of like, and I hope that they nail that here.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. The poster does not have me convinced.
No,
that they'll nail that.
But they might have changed the color or something like that.
No, they do that frequently.
No, maybe they'll swap it and it'll be like the uniform reveal because he's a prince.
Oh, that'd be cute.
He comes down the stairs and she goes, oh, I don't know.
But they never get too imaginative with the uniforms. It's always red. They don't get it.
Well, in the poster, it's blue though.
Yeah, but like, we'll see, because they change it up all the time. It's either red or blue, but it's always the same. It always looks like the British uniform, It's a fake country. Go all out, Have them wear
they
gold.
do that all the time, like in the Coming Home for Christmas with Danica, the poster, it has her with a green dress. In the movie, it's a blue dress.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's what I thought. They might change up the colors too, but like it's not really, you only have so much of a budget, I know, but I don't have high hopes in, the big dress reveal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true. They do like Sleeping Beauty-fy, it's like, is it pink or blue, pink or blue, pink or like.
Which is okay, I guess. Keeps you in suspense. If you care, that is.
Yeah. So we have our system that we preview, our ranking system. If you want to check out some of our other Christmas previews, you should check out that we have a lump of coal, a sock, an orange, or a diamond ring. And they're all supposed to be things you get in your stocking, is the idea. So that's our preview ranking. And we even have merch to go along with these rankings if you feel so inclined. But Mary, what ranking, as far as your anticipation level, would you give A Royal Christmas Crush?
So when I just first saw the title and the actor and actresses and the premise, I thought diamond ring. I love me a royal movie. He's attractive, all those kinds of things. But as I'm a little bit worried, like Terry, about the accent or other things, it's kind of leaning toward orange. Is there like a middle? Or,
yeah. Well, yeah.
Yummy, juicy orange.
Well, sometimes
a chocolate orange.
Chocolate orange. Oh yeah, you've used that before. I'm giving it
a chocolate orange, or like a Harry and David, like really nice orange, like so nice.
Okay. Yes. Because that's very delicious.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to give it that.
All right, Terry, what about you?
Well, I love me some royal movies, but I don't know. But it could be fun. I'm going to give it like an orange, chocolate orange. I'm going to spice it up there. Ooh. Because I want to enjoy this one, even if it's not great. I want to have fun with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'll just be so excited just for Christmas movie, period, that I think that will help. When you watch a Christmas movie off season, it does definitely help improve the quality of the movie.
Yes.
But I think I got to give this a sock. Sorry.
I know it doesn't.
I mean, the ice hotel should be pretty fun.
I think that's probably the best. Like from the preview alone, they're outside and they're in the ice hotel, and I was like, and then we have him sitting in a chair and in like an empty room, and I was like, we're not going to get much set detail here.
Yeah. Well, and I do think it is helped by the fact I know they got together, so that feels like, okay, the chemistry is going to be, because even more them being a couple, before the movie, like they were cast as a couple, like that's can be really good, but like this is even more intriguing, the fact that they, I guess, met on.
Yeah.
Like that's like, ooh.
You're hoping to see that pop.
Yeah. That should be fun. So yeah, but I think I gotta go with sock. Okay. Then the next, Take Me Back for Christmas, with Vanessa Lengies. I'm not sure how to say her last name. I apologize, Vanessa. And then Corey Sevier, directed by Corey Sevier and written by his wife, Kate Pragnall. It's just super fun.
Yeah, they team up a lot.
Yeah, they do.
For holiday movies,
yeah. He talked about that in an interview. If y'all want to listen, he talked about getting to work with his wife and in this movie. And it's after a particularly disheartening work day at her local gift shop, Renee makes a Christmas wish for a different life. She wakes up in an NYC high-rise as the CEO of one of the most successful meal kit delivery companies in the world. Everything is seemingly perfect except for one thing. She no longer is married to her beloved husband. Is her new life too full to include her husband, or is she destined to win him back? Now, they've done a lot of movies like this, like Family Man or It's a Wonderful Life. It's kind of similar vibes. But usually I don't love it because it's about, you get invested in this couple that doesn't actually like exist. And so then you're like, but the ending, like in Family Man, he gets to the ending and the family and the couple goes away. So he has to go and try to find her. And so it just makes it kind of a weird ending. Whereas like what made a Kiss Before Christmas work so well with James Denton and Terry Hatcher is that he has the family's been taken away, as opposed to like Family Man, where he's given a family, right? And so so I think that dynamic works way better. And like the attachment that he has to obviously his family and his kids. And I thought it was so brilliant in that movie how they made his kids adopted. And so all of a sudden he sees his kids with other parents and he's, what,
Yeah.
really, really, that was very good. We don't have a trailer for this. So we don't know if it'll have all of those same dynamics, but I do like the fact that it seems like a similar setup, that she had the family's taken away. And so that's, I think, going to work really well. And I like Vanessa. She's very warm, very lovely actress. I feel like, her and Corey have already done a movie together. So that's a good sign. Corey, I would say 9 times out of 10, really, he works for me and he's really good. And so the fact he's directing this and his wife wrote it, I feel like that's good signs. What do you think, Mary?
So I was just looking up a couple of the similar premise. What was it with Lacey Chabert? Family for Christmas.
So that's one where she's given a family, and
right,
and so then it's like by the end you're like, oh, these kids, and I hope that she has kids that are a little less bratty in real life.
Oh, yeah. And they figure out their marital roles in the family too. I remember was that one. And then there was one, it wasn't a Christmas one, but where she wakes up being younger and she's like, do I try again to get my husband, or do I go through this career and be this lawyer? Remember that one?
Yeah, that one's good.
So this premise, is always interesting because you think about the what might have been or what should be happening. So I think I'm intrigued by this. And right, Corey Sevier, he played grumpy so well with Last Christmas and What Noel Next Door. So I'm curious if he'll be this, brooding, or if he'll be, cheerful. And it'll be, the acting I think will be so interesting for this premise. So.
Yeah, what do you think, Terry?
Well, when I first read the synopsis, my mind immediately went to that Nikki DeLoach and Andrew Walker Christmas movie, A Dream of Christmas, because they were married and they're married in this coming movie too. And then the whole thing of like, my work sucks, and then she's finally got the job. But, same thing with A Kiss Before Christmas, sort of same premise like that. And this is very, it's not unique. It's been done a lot of times, but what they can do with it is the real question. Like, can they make it stand out in a sea of so many others, so to speak? So, but these guys have worked together before. I did not like their previous Christmas that they did, the actors, but like they're good actors. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I remember it was like, I felt like it was generic, like it was okay, but not like great.
I felt like the previous Christmas, oh my gosh, she gave up everything for him and he didn't give up anything for her.
Yeah,
so I felt very like old schooly Hallmark, like for that short period of time. Well, not really.
Vanessa Longe's. Of course, if you Heart of the Holidays. They were kind of grumpy at each other that whole time. So maybe this is with that base layer of some love, He was mad. He was like punishing her the whole movie for
God, I did not like that movie.
That one? Yeah.
Like, you left to have a career. How dare you?
How dare you? Yeah. And he was mad and grumpy the whole time. And by the end, it was like, okay.
Yeah. Then she gives up her career and he's the same. He doesn't change at all.
Yeah.
So that's
that with that base. And I know these are different. They're going to be playing different characters this time. It's a different writer. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
I think this might be where in the present, she doesn't really appreciate her husband. And it's probably going to be like, without me, he's probably not the greatest person. He might be successful, but maybe he's just not as kind and as thoughtful as he is with her. Like, they give each other something. And so she might see from that aspect.
Yeah. Like I have the one day previously that I met, I have like almost no memory of it all. So I really shouldn't say it's like, because I think they added it kind of late and it was just one of those ones that just kind of got lost.
Oh, the one from that they did together that had I remember you hating that poster like for that movie, for that
Oh,
specific
yeah.
movie that they did. You were like, what is going on here? I remember that because I thought it was like, it's better than what they've done before. I was being very nice. I'm much more kinder to their posters than you are, Rachel. But
well,
but I
what
just-
frustrates me more than anything else, though, is when they don't release the poster. So I'm
Yeah.
working to make, like with wedding season, I had the interview with Stephanie Bennett for that Monday before.
Yeah.
No poster
No poster.
had been released for the wedding
like
season. The week before, I'm like, what?
They released it like 2 days before, I think, right?
Yeah, like I can't think of any other studio that doesn't have a poster for their movie the week of release.
It doesn't matter who's at the top of the regime. That's always been something that the Hallmark Channel has suffered
What?
with.
Yeah.
No matter who's in charge, they don't have any type of promo material until the day before it airs.
Yeah.
I guess they feel very confident that they don't need it because people are they have a core audience that'll watch it.
That's true. But in this one, I mean, it's airing, it says what, on the 15th of July. So they got to kind of get to stepping here.
I am surprised that we got the Royal Christmas Crush poster already, though. I was like super surprised. I didn't think we were going to get anything of that until like the first week of July or anything. So
yeah,
they're really pushing that one.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. And that one's on the 8th, I think, with a whole royal day leading up to it. So it's a
Amazing.
royal movie marathon on that Saturday, July 8th. So my DVR is going to get stuffed full.
so I actually think this one looks pretty good. This Take Me Back for Christmas. I think it could bring like real emotion once she realizes that her husband is gone.
Yep.
And so if they handle it right, I mean, I feel like it's tough because Kiss Before Christmas was so good.
So good. Could you imagine though, if they did one of these movies, I would laugh so hard where she's like, I'm glad my husband's gone. Like, this is the life for me. You know, when she stays in this life, I would love to see some kind of like weird comedy like that. We're like, no, this one's good.
Or I like, there's a funny Simpsons episode, just one of the Treehouse of Horror. And he goes through all these different versions of his family. And he finally gets to one where it looks like the regular family. And then he sees that they have lizard tongues. And he's like, close enough.
Yeah, right. I think if they did sort of a spoof on this type of, you know, story, that they could pull that off. Like, no, I'm good. I'm rich. I'm successful. I'll be all right. I don't
The only one I could think of that kind of did that is Eve's Christmas, which is an old one we did for these Christmas rewatches that Thaddeus and I have done. Eve's Christmas, she does kind of end up because did she marry the guy or does she decide to take the job? That's like the big decision. And the sort of the end is like she kind of gets both. Spoiler alert, I guess. But she ends up in this like alternate reality where she is basically the CEO of Amazon and eBay all at the same time.
Right.
But she's also married to the guy. And it's like,
sounds pretty good.
It was great. But
let me tell you something. If that happened to me and I woke up, I would be like, no, I got to go back for the kids. I got to go back for the kids, like my niece and nephew.
Yeah.
Those are like my children. And I was like, I got to go back for them unless I could bring them with me. Because if I was by myself and I woke up rich and successful, I'd be like, it's 1,000 times better than what I got now.
But in Eve's Christmas, she decides to take the job in the first reality. But then in the, like, I guess, alternate reality, she decides to take the job and also marry the guy, but she doesn't ever have any children in any of them, so there isn't that.
Children that's the hard thing. You can't having children on it makes it more. That's why it worked for A Kiss Before Christmas. The kids aspect worked
well, and that was just so brilliant having them be adopted.
Exactly.
So they're in the alternate,
because if not, they wouldn't have existed. They wouldn't have existed.
So to see them with different parents, that was very, I thought,
it
was very smart. Tracy Andreen
it almost works better. It almost works better if there is no children. So it has more of that fight on whether you want to your old life where where you can improve your old life, or you want this.
I mean,
life,
if I woke up and I had invented Amazon and eBay,
oh my gosh, I know. I might sound terrible for saying that, but I'd be like, yeah, This
But
was
the funny
staying.
thing too is that like, if that happened in your life, like you wouldn't remember, because she wakes up
Yeah.
and she'd been married for like 7 years or whatever to this guy. But like she would have no memory of all of those things, those 7 years together. And he would start to be like, why do you not remember anything about our life together? And it's like, I'm sorry, I woke up in a multiverse. I mean, yeah, it's like the Hallmark multiverse. Like forgetting with like the Flash and
Layers of-
Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Oh, this multiverse. Oh.
Yeah.
But I do sound like a terrible person. No, I chuck it all the way.
Oh gosh.
I do. I do sound like a terrible person. What?
I
Yeah.
don't have any kids to worry about. I take
I wouldn't do that, you know. My
the
sister's gonna
Amazon
listen
job.
to this. My sister's gonna listen to this later, and she's like, "I can't believe you would chuck me. You mentioned the kids, but you would leave me behind. Like, don't I deserve a happy future too?" I know that's what she's gonna say to me.
No,
Wow.
you can see me. I have 5 children. I would be looking so much like George Bailey in It's Wonderful Life, like horrified. Like, where are they?
I know.
Oh, it would. Oh,
It would be a horror movie.
yeah.
Totally. I'm surprised they must have done some kind of horror movie like that already, right?
Yeah.
I'm no expert on the genre, but they've had to have one where you wake up and your children are gone.
Oh
Probably.
gosh.
But
My stomach's
pretty
starting to
much
clench thinking about it.
pretty much
I know.
every romance is just one rewrite away from being a horror movie.
Absolutely.
That's
We know
true.
this.
So many
That's true.
Hallmark movies, especially this year, are a breath away from being a lifetime thriller.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't believe it. I was like, this is so close, you know.
Yes. But anyway, for Take Me Back for Christmas, I am going to be optimistic, especially I just feel like with it being written and directed by family, it's a family story. I just feel like that's going to help it feel more emotionally true. So I am going to give this maybe, do I give it a diamond ring? Is that
Ooh.
too brave? Why not? I'm gonna give it a diamond ring, like a small diamond, maybe like a cubic zirconium, like a fake diamond. It's I do think it's definitely my most anticipated of the two for sure. But yeah, I think I'm gonna be bold and hope for it. What do you think, Mary? What are you
Well,
gonna give it?
Wow, fortune favors the bold, you know. I was
Yeah.
in orange territory, but I'm thinking it could be, if it's done well and just showing that love and how, you know, spouses support each other and lift each other, it could be a diamond ring for me too. So
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe we'll stick in chocolate orange territory though.
I mean, you do like a ring pop or something like
A ring
that.
pop. Yes, you've
There
done
you
that in
go.
the past. A ring pop.
Yeah,
We're gonna-
very good. Okay, Terry, what about you?
I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to give it an orange, though I do think this will probably be the strongest of the 2 movies they premiere, the 2
Yeah.
new movies they premiere this in July. I think this will be the strongest of them. So I'm giving it an orange. I really hope that they really, because it's going to be a drama. And I really hope that they delve into it and not make it overly sappy, you know, as well. But
Mhm.
Today's episode of the podcast is sponsored by W Rated, the podcast where we willingly watch the world's worst rated movies. Join me, Daisy,
and me, Claire, as we break down the IMDb Bottom 100, choosing a different film from the list every episode.
We take a deep dive into the plot, production, release, and reviews, usually with a special guest, to uncover if these films are truly as bad as everyone says they are.
You can find us on Spotify, Apple, Good Pods, and anywhere else you find your podcasts.
So let's now talk about some other ones that we recommend that are going to be playing during Christmas in July, some of our favorites. And so we'd love to hear, if you're listening in the comment section or on Twitter, we'd love to hear which rewatches you'll be prioritizing. We definitely want to know that. But I'll go first. So the one that I thought of as far as last year that I think people liked, but for some reason I also just still feel like it kind of went under the radar a little bit. It's The Ghost of Christmas Always. I really enjoyed it. I thought that it was such a clever take on the Christmas Carol story, which is really hard to do, to find something new with a story that's been told so many times. I think that's tricky. And it was so random that the same year that you'd have two of the behind the scenes of the Ghosts movies, the one with Will Ferrell and Ryan Reynolds, Spirited, which I also really enjoyed, and then this. But I actually think if I had to pick, I would pick this over Spirited. I just thought this script was very well done by Zach and I forget his collaborator's name, but she did a great job. And I really liked just the I thought the script was really solid about, I almost didn't even need it to be a romance. And Annika, that's who it is. Annika Marks. They're excellent. I could have even had it end, I think, as more of a friendship story. And I could see them doing more of these about the ghosts.
Yes,
but
I hope they do.
yeah, but I don't think you would need, and you shouldn't have all of them be a romance. But
Not to force
that's
it.
that's my one, because I loved this movie last year. I found it so fresh, so funny, but just that ending, like I wish there wasn't that romance. I just wish it would have ended like good and they would have gone on and, but that just, even though I didn't like the ending and the romance angle, it does not take away of the enjoyment. This movie is really fun. It's good. It's one of the better twists on Charles, on that the author and the story and all that other stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, I really enjoyed all of the ghosts. I think you could have had more of Reginald Vel Johnson, but still, I really liked all of the ghosts, the whole ghost world that they created, the whole concept.
That was very unique as well. Like they did what they did with the sets.
Yeah.
And
I felt like Kim Matula and Ian Harding, they both have like kind of like old souls. Like I believed them as sort of these.
Oh yeah.
They fit the characters well, and I thought the reveal worked with her.
His excitement over it all too, of like, I'm in this, like, like I know what's happening next, because and the fact that they haunted him and that's why he wrote it out of the experience. I love that whole twist on it. It's so imaginative and fresh. It's a fresh take.
Yeah. So that's my first recommendation. That is on the 2nd of July that it's going to air. What about you, Mary? What is your first recommendation?
Yeah, so the first one coming up on their schedule that I'm recommending for people to watch is Haul Out the Holly. It also is on the 2nd. This one with Lacey Chabert and Wes Brown. It was filmed in Utah, so it was pretty fun for us to notice, and near your house. Rachel.
Yeah, it really was like 2 blocks from my house.
Yeah, so I loved that. But this was so campy, so fun, so like wink, wink. We're over the top, and we love it. And I just loved it. I had a ton of fun. Lots of cameos too that were really fun from other Hallmark, actors and actresses.
Yeah, surprising. Like I would not have expected to see. Eric Mabius and
and just really great fun relationships. It's just pretty much this over what she moves home, and then her parents like leave she goes home for Christmas. Her parents head off to like some tropical occasion, but leave her in charge of making sure that all their traditions and decorations are put up and finished as to code. And Wes Brown is like, measuring the nutcrackers on her lawn, to make sure they're up to code. And it was just hilarious. And he was wearing glasses. Wasn't that the year we were joking about all the
that
actors?
One's really fun. It's like, I will teach you to love Christmas by decorating this town. Like, how dare you not love to decorate?
I know.
Another one that could have been a Lifetime thriller if you think about it.
No question.
But it's so zany. It's so much fun. It came out much better than I thought it ever would.
Like I wouldn't want all Hallmark movies to be that silly, but it was a refreshing break for this season. It was really funny.
Yeah, aren't there rumors we're getting a sequel to that one?
Oh,
I haven't heard that, but I'm not like up on the rumor, so I don't know.
Yeah, because there was like somebody said he was filming in Utah, maybe. And I was like, I don't know,
really?
don't hold your
Ooh.
fingers, but there were rumors that it did very well for the
Mm.
network last year. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if maybe not this year, who knows, but like next year
Mm.
we get another one.
I could see there being room for a sequel because you just have sort of the contest and the
Yeah.
yeah, because it wasn't that much about the relationship, you know.
No,
whereas a lot
you
of
can
times
do
they
it
really-
like, yeah, now it's like they're teaming up because they've got a new competitor that they've got to
Oh.
beat or something.
You know what would be hilarious is if they could get Reba to be a new neighbor. That would be so funny with, of course, with Melissa Peterman and Reba
Yes.
battling it out. Oh, I would die.
She hasn't done a Hallmark movie, I don't think, Reba, right?
Just
No.
Lifetime.
Mm. I mean, if there is a sequel, it wouldn't be the first time Lacey has 2 Christmas movies airing in Hallmark, because hers was just announced this morning, her new Christmas movie for Hallmark.
Oh, was it? I
Oh.
missed that.
Yeah, it's called a Scottish Christmas. It's her and Scott Wolf from Party of
Oh.
5
Oh
teaming up
yeah,
together.
but
Yeah.
they're brother
They're playing
sister.
siblings.
Yes.
Yes, they're playing
Yeah.
siblings. People were freaking out that they were getting, and I was
Yeah,
like, they're
love it.
actors. They're actors. They're not really
Yeah, but that
related,
would
but
still.
they- I know.
I don't know
There
if
is
I
an
would
age
do
gap
weird.
though. No, but they are playing brother and sister in this one. So I was
Okay,
like,
good.
you know, so it's
That's
not
good.
uncommon because that happens before where Lacey had 2.
I hope it's
You know,
better
so-
than her other Scotland movie. That was boring. I did not
Is
like.
that Christmas at Castle Heart?
Yeah, I did
Oh
not.
yeah.
I do like that one.
You
I seem to
know?
be the only one who liked that one.
I
And
thought
that's
it was-
royal. Yeah, but I was
I
like,
didn't like the conflict or the, you know,
That's
that
the
she's
royal
lying to
movie,
him like
yeah.
over and over and
But-
over and over again. And I'm like, we're supposed to like this character, and she's just continually to lie.
I know,
But-
but the scenery was beautiful.
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
I include that because that to me, I include that as a royal movie because it's royal adjacent. It's minor royals because he's an earl, so he's not at
Right.
the top. He's a little lower, but like it still counts for me. But I enjoy that one.
Yeah.
Or maybe see these location shoots. That's the only way I travel, so I always give those a little higher ranking because I'm sightseeing while we're watching.
Uh-huh.
Go.
Yeah.
So,
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, Hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies.
I love the
Whoa.
location shoots.
I mean, I really like Love, Romance, and Chocolate.
Oh, that one was they're
I
so
like some
sexy
of-
together in that movie.
Oh yeah, all that sexy chocolate tempering.
Yeah, because and the
Just like glass blowing.
she goes, she wears the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but she wore her most expensive shirt to work with to bake chocolate and to do all that. I couldn't believe it. I was like, not one drop of chocolate. Meanwhile, I make chocolate. I got flour on my shirt. I got chocolate here. It's a mess. She's
But
just
at least
like, clean.
Mumford and Danjanot showed him up even better chocolate tempering movie.
Yes.
but
Woo.
all right, Terry, what is your recommendation?
It's coming up on this one is airing on the 2nd. So, and I think it only has one airing for the month. It's My Christmas Family Tree. I think that's from 2021.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it stars Amy Teagarden, James Tupper, and Andrew Walker.
Mhm.
And it's more of a family drama. I really love the family aspect of it. She finds her father, who she never knew, through a very questionable DNA site because they don't seem to be doing a very good job. Because she thinks that's her family and they bonded, and then, oh no, it's not my family. They made a mistake. And the emotional trauma that this site gives to her, like, I could not recommend it. This DNA finder site.
No.
Yeah.
And do we have a bonus romance? It's not the center of the story, but it's nice to have that extra romance in it. It's mostly a family, and a Tyler Hines cameo.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, who's the waiter?
So yeah, so like if you want like a Christmas story about family, but not too heavy-handed. It's not heavy-handed. It's just like we're coming together. And I loved, because sometimes we get a lot of like, this stepmama is not happy that her husband had a baby before they ever got together. Which is it always boggles my mind how angry they are when they've had like babies before they got together. But no, she was very inviting and welcoming.
That's true.
And it was just trying to piece it together. And then it ended so sweet when it looks like all hope is lost. And he's like, no, it's not, and
the only thing with this movie though, is that I wish that they hadn't found the picture, and they had, because they were working to this whole point of like, we're going to love you like family, even though you're not technically family.
Right.
And that was really good. But so they didn't really need for her to find the picture and for them to, we actually are family.
Yeah, really. Well, I like that still, because like, it's kind of the like feel goodish, it was already a feel good movie, but it's more like, yes, they really are. We don't have to worry about it. But you're right. It could have worked either way. It works either way.
But yeah, and I also, that's one I feel like they could have not made it a romance. We didn't need her and Andrew Walker to get together.
No, but I didn't mind it. At least it wasn't the focus.
It wasn't a sweet kind of side thing. Like,
I know, but like when he first popped, but when he first popped up, I was like, oh gosh, are they related? And then when you find out, because then it was like, because somebody told me, oh no, that she's gonna have a scare, they're not gonna be related. And I was like, okay, so they can be related and still date. And I thought she'll still be part of this family through him, but thankfully they did not. I was like, no, Terry, this isn't VC Andrews, they're not related. They're not related. Don't worry about that. This is Hallmark.
All right. So my next choice is Campfire Christmas. I think this is perfect because this is the most Christmas in July movie they've ever made. Like, it's actually about this camp it's set in July. It's a Christmas in July movie. And I think it was a successful like reunion movie. It was a real ensemble piece. I think the dance like real paid off at the end. And I think that they had really good chemistry. There's a really good kiss in this movie. Overall it's also one where they end up having to sell the camp. And so it's like there's not, and
they're okay with it.
Yeah.
That was so refreshing that they were like, I'm selling it. We're okay with it. You don't want to, take care of this, then don't. Because usually it's like, oh no, you can't sell it. Or I don't want to take over it, but something happens where it realizes I do. And that was so refreshing that they let it go. But this movie was too afraid not to include Christmas. So it bookends from start and finish during the Christmas season, and then it jumps to July. It's almost too afraid to not include the actual holiday.
Well, and also the other funny thing in this movie is they act like being a Broadway actor is like, you are super rich. You are like, you have your own helicopter, and like, no. Like, and like maybe like everybody, Manuel Miranda, like maybe then, but like everybody else is kind of slumming it out.
That was great.
It was really funny.
And he was a daytime star, and that's why they were feuding. I'm a better, like my type of acting is better than your type of acting, and I just thought that was hysterical. That they were fighting over that too. Like, he was daytime, he was Broadway. One's more sophisticated than the other. They were great together. I loved that whole side relationship, and when they came to, it was really good. Again, this movie is like, who's gonna move? Like, at least they didn't linger to that, like, no, I'll move. Like, there's so many, we live far away, we can't be together, because people don't know how to commute, apparently. In movies. They don't know how to do anything long distance. Like, we've never had somebody work outside the home. And I was like, there's thousands of people who are gone for 6 months out of the year because they got to work, or they got to drive trucks or whatever. This is normal.
You just make it work. If you love each other, you make it work. And so, I agree. That's not my favorite conflict, but
it's still a good movie. It's fun too.
It was really good. So Mary, what is your next pick?
Yeah, this one is probably my top Christmas movie from Hallmark in many recent years, besides The Christmas Card, which is not replaying this summer, but talk about that later. Check Into Christmas.
Yeah.
Airing on
cute.
July 3rd. It's super cute. Rachel Boston and Wes Brown. And what's his name? Next door from Home Improvement is her dad.
Oh yeah, Richard Karn.
Yeah. So they grew up in the same town, and their parents have rival inns, or kind of bed and breakfast inns. And she comes back for the holidays, and they kind of reconnect, like, oh yeah, I think I knew you in high school. I liked it that it wasn't we were boyfriend girlfriend in high school, because now that you're in your 40s, let it go.
Yeah.
Are they even playing in their 40s though?
They're playing I think they were playing late 20s here.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
But Hallmark
This
is
has the
notorious for
same-
that.
Yeah.
Hallmark is notorious for that. Like, the love of my life, I met him when I was a freshman. I met him when I was 14 and 15 years old. I'll never
Yeah.
love again as good as that.
This is the same writer as Campfire Christmas, which is kind of
Oh,
Anna
yeah.
White.
I'm
Anna
not
White.
surprised.
It
I'm
was
not
just
surprised.
so well done. I loved that we had two full families, right, with siblings and parents, multi-generational, with a grandma. They were able to spring the budget for extra actors, maybe, is all I'm thinking. That all had interesting parts, and the little competitions that they going back and forth with their families, and how the two bring their families together. I would love a sequel for this, to see how their new inn that they're doing together is working.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that'll ever happen, but it just hit me just right, this movie. So everybody,
it is a fun one. It is a fun one.
Yeah. All right, Terry, what's your next one?
Well, this one's airing on the 15th. It's Next Stop Christmas. And I think this one's 2021 as well. It's time travel. It's a wink and wink. It's got the Back to the Future actors, and Christopher Lloyd and Leah Thompson. Also stars soap stars Lindsay Fonseca and Chandler Massey. Chandler Massey, I could give or take with his Hallmark movies, but he's good here. And the whole thing that, she's this successful surgeon, but she's like, oh, look, my weather guy, or no, he's a sports guy. Like, we could have been engaged, right? And I was like, you're a doctor, but the fact, I love the time travel aspect through the train. That was unique, the special train. And that she thinks she's fully aware of the opportunity of the things that she can fix. So she's a slightly happier in the future. She doesn't want to change profession or anything, but her profession, excuse me. But, she's like, will I still be with this guy? Did I miss my mark? But that when she travels back in time, she really opens her eyes to all the stuff that was going on with her family, and she becomes less selfish.
Yeah.
And her BFF, who waited all this time for her and helps her, and then they finally connect. I don't think he has any memory of it when she fixes her timeline in her future, but like, it's a fun, because I like time. This is a unique way that they could do it on TV, like time travel, or an alternate reality, or however you want to view that as, but it's fun. And the train, I love the train set. I love old fashioned trains like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think it's a good one. You just kind of have to go with the whimsy of it, I think, to enjoy it.
Plus, I howled when the great Erica Slezak, soap opera queen royalty, from because I'm a soap person, when she majestically popped up there. I didn't know she was in this movie. I howled, I screamed. I was like, soap goddess, I am not worthy, So
Yes.
Those are the type of things that attract me, like made me love this movie even more.
Yeah. So my last pick is one that I feel like I didn't kind of recognize how special it was when it came out. And since then, I just really grown to love it. Is Christmas with the Darlings from 2020, and this one is Tracy Andreen, who's just the best writer. And it's you have Carla Marx, Katrina Law. I love them both. And basically, she is kind of a lawyer for this family, and she decides to help with these kids that are home for their orphaned nieces and nephews coming home for the holidays. she decides to help with the family. And he is like the he's like the brother in Sabrina, you know, kind of the one who nobody really takes seriously. But he's always had a crush on Katrina Law's character. And he comes back and he's got this great relationship with the kids. And it's just like super cozy, this movie, and very sweet. And their chemistry is super great. And you could say, I guess, there's rich people problems, but I'm here for it and I enjoyed it. I really love the ending. It's so good. And yeah, it's underrated, I think.
Yeah, it's a shame she hasn't done another Hallmark Christmas movie because I'm not the biggest fan of this one, but she's had 3 for 3 that are beloved. Snow Bride and what was it, the 12 Dates or 12 Presents or something
Another
like that.
12. Yeah.
Love
It's got a
that
similar
one.
title where
She
she's
does them like years apart too. But you know.
Well, and she always works with her sister-in-law, Tracy Andreen.
Yep.
Who's always there, an amazing combo. And I just really thought this movie was cozy and really fun. So
for sure. Yeah.
What's the third one? You said she's done 3.
It was
The Christmas with the Darlings. Was
Oh
the
yeah,
third
12
one.
gifts and then
12
Yeah,
Gifts
that's
and
12,
Snow
that's
Bride.
it.
yeah.
Which people love Snow Bride over and over. I
Yeah.
see
It's
it
really
go
good.
up on, you know.
That one is just, they haven't done something like that since. Like, she's a paparazzi, you know?
Yeah.
She's out there trying to like get these people and then ends up loving these people. And I would never speak to her again. The way she destroyed that wedding dress, like, you are dead to me from that point on. What she did with her friend's dress.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
no.
that one is Snow Bride is playing on the 28th.
Oh,
if you want to watch Snow Bride. But Mary, what is your last suggestion?
So I'm thinking I'm going to stick with, because I had a couple others that I'll probably DVR, but I think if people want to watch a royal movie on the 8th, leading up to the new one, One Royal Holiday.
So good.
Laura Osnes. It's just fun. And I don't know, it was so funny how they get stuck at this inn, you know, the royal prince, you know, of such and such country, can't even remember, and the crown and his mom, who's lovely, the queen. And she's like, the prince, oh, you're serious. It was cute.
And the fact they travel in just a normal car too, royalty. It's just them and like the butler or the bodyguard. That's just it. Like,
I know. I also had severe problems with the flying back and forth because I've done a flight to Europe and back, and the jet lag is so bad, and it takes time. And he just was there then back.
Within that speech, but you know.
But you get 3 relationships in one in that movie, which is really fun.
And
and it was like perfect for 2020 because it was a very cozy movie. It's just kind of like Christmas with the Darlings.
Yes. And there's a little nod to her role of Cinderella on Broadway when he's giving her the slippers, because she always gave people socks, and he throws at her. That was just
and have all the
pajama ball
stars.
sounded amazing though. We do a pajama ball, and then they decided to make it like a real, like a ball. But I was like, no, that pajama ball sounds amazing.
And he teaches her to waltz to the Christmas waltz.
Oh yeah.
Cute.
And her dress pays off. It's a really good royal dress, and
had pockets.
Yeah. And Aaron Tveit.
Aaron Tveit. Yeah, he's just great. And I would have loved to see them both sing. She's done that wait, did she sing? I can't remember.
She did like the intro. She did.
That's right. They did the intro together. That's right.
They had the song they recorded played in that.
Yeah, which was a cute behind the scenes of them filming that together.
Yeah.
But he's also in the Grease live, if people want to see.
The one that I remember that one
with Julianne Hough.
Boy, that one was something else. The one they gave on Fox, right, when the Fox did it live. It
was pretty good. Like for these live musicals.
I wish that they would continue doing that they would go back to the live, because like when things go wrong, it's like great.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know if maybe the Rent live scared them, because the actor in the dress rehearsal like broke his
he broke his leg, and so they just aired the dress rehearsal.
So
the only live thing they did was the last musical number, I think, was live, and I was like, I could have done it in the wheelchair. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was-
but those type of things, that's why you film the dress rehearsal, because that was just an accident,
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's a good choice. I really love One Royal Holiday.
Yep.
All right, Terry, what is your last choice?
My last one is from last year. It's Giving on the 21st. This was what I looked forward to so much last year, and it ended up being a favorite. It's a holiday spectacular because I love a period piece. I love a costume drama, and Hallmark hasn't done one in years because they're expensive, and you couldn't have like 100 movies a year if they did like a costume, because it takes up all the budget.
Yeah.
But I know people were upset that it wasn't historically accurate because it was about Rockettes, and they had people of color in prominent roles in the Rockettes or whatever. And I know some people were upset that it wasn't historically accurate at that part, but I didn't care about that because it's a fiction. You don't have to be 100% correct when you're doing a period piece. Just go with the story.
Yeah.
I just loved it. The Rockettes dancing and the cute little side story. And, we had Eve Plum, and I can't remember who played her mom.
Oh, I can't remember who played her mom, but yeah, that one was good.
I
mean, we're just like showing our favorite writers, because we've got Julie Sherman-Wolf, One Royal Holiday, Julie Sherman-Wolf, A Holiday Spectacular, Tracy Ann Dreen. We've got Christmas with the Darlings, Kiss for Christmas.
They went all out they did go all out for
Anna
a holiday
White.
spectacular.
Yeah.
Like you could tell they spent the money. They got Anne Margaret out there.
Yes.
They filmed in Radio City Music Hall. They had the Rockettes do the actual numbers. And it's like, oh, poor little rich girl wants to be a dancer. And you're like rolling your eyes, but it worked. Like it worked,
I agree.
And her parents were so mean. You got to marry this rich guy. And her dad's like, I'll disown you. But, I mean, typical for that time, but
it worked.
I loved it. And it's an inclusive cast.
And the young soldier made me think of my grandpa, because he would have been around that age, and he's like, or was he a sailor? He was in the armed forces. He made me think of that Greatest Generation. I don't know. It's a good cast. It was just fun.
It was really good.
And it doesn't have to be 100% historically accurate, because just have fun with it. It's fiction. It's not a documentary.
It's not a documentary, exactly.
But I know a lot of people were upset about that, that it wasn't accurate in that aspect. But it was like, I mean, it would be too much of a downer if it was, and you wanted to be hopeful, and you wanted it to I lived my dream.
I really enjoyed it. And I think that you're talking about the scripts. The scripts are just really solid as far as the banter. And I think that's what makes these scripts really stand out. And the chemistry on all the ones we've talked about had really solid chemistry. So let us know what you're going to be watching over Christmas in July, rewatches, and what you think, what you would give the new movies as far as your preview ranking. We would love to hear in the comment section or on Twitter. And Terry, how can people find you?
I'm at Twitter at Flurry Heaven. I post nonsense and how I feel about these Hallmark movies and how one of them killed my soul, but I've recovered.
Yeah. Oh, good. All right, Mary, what about you?
So I'm on Twitter at _Mary Richards, Instagram Mary Richards Reports, and Facebook Reporter Mary Richards. And my Sleigh Bells and Mistletoe Christmas podcast, just search for Sleigh Bells and Mistletoe Christmas podcast. We're on all the socials.
Great. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews, all of our social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. So check that out. Also, make sure that you're following the podcast at Hallmarkies Pod and Hallmarkies Podcast, all of our social media. And if you are listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. That really helps us a lot. It only takes a second of your time. So if you haven't left a review, 5-star on iTunes, please help us out there. And then we also have the patron group and merch store. And the patron group, it allows you to have access to talent and watch-alongs. And we also have exclusive reviews every week for just the patrons. So you definitely get your money's worth, and it's the best way to support us, and we really appreciate it. If you are watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that so much. We also have our merch store where we have tons of festive Christmas designs. So make sure to take a look at that. And thanks so much, everybody. And Merry Christmas. Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.